Hello, and welcome back to the Adam Sandler Podcast. We're a couple of minutes late, but that's okay, because it's vacation time here in Sweden. Anyway, welcome back to the Adam Sandler Podcast, the podcast where we take a unnecessarily deep dive into the sordid career of Adam Sandler. And with me, as always, is my friend and trusty co-host, Christopher.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Right, and in today's episode, we're talking about one of those quote-unquote serious Adam Sandler movies that are supposed to be good. And I think so far, when we watched the serious Adam Sandler movies, they have been good, all of them, right? Rain Over Me, Spanglish, Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
I guess that's about it. Yeah, and this is
maybe Funny People. You could.
Oh
put
yeah,
that
Funny People.
as...
Yeah, and Funny People was good. Funny People was good. Yeah. But this is not counting Uncut Gems, his last serious movie. Yeah, it's Men, Women, and Children, a quirky little indie drama by Jason Reitman, indie darling Jason Reitman. I'd never seen this before. Had you seen this before?
No, I never heard of it.
No. I'd heard of it, and I'd seen, I think I'd seen a trailer, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that, because, you know what, let's just watch. I took the worst trailer. I gotta be honest. There were two trailers, and I took the one that was the most, pretentious. So let's let's watch that one. Here, 3, 2, 1, play. That's about a minute. That's enough of that. Yeah. So that's basically.
That was not a good trailer.
No, I know it's a little pretentious. But it is kind of what the movie's about, I suppose. Yeah. I'll just say it right away. I hated this movie.
You hated it?
Oh, yeah. Well,
oh.
I don't not hate it, but I really, really, really disliked it.
Okay. I was... For me, this was like middle of the road, like maybe just a millimeter over average, maybe. I didn't hate it. I was bored at sometimes. Like in the second act, I was kind of bored and was zoning out. But I think it picked up at the end, and I'm not... It has a lot of problems. A lot of problems.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I didn't mind it as much as... No, I didn't mind it.
I don't know. Well, since the trailer didn't really explain what the movie's about, it's about, 3 or 4 families where...
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, where everyone seems dissatisfied. They're sad about something, or something's wrong in their life, and they're all in one way or another attached to not specifically their phone, but like a screen.
Technology,
yeah, exactly.
And social technology in some way.
And it's about all these people sort of coming to terms with that, but not really. Spoilers for them, they don't really fix anything. Which, I mean, they don't have. I don't think that's the point of the movie, but it feels very like slice of life.
Yeah, it is definitely slice of life. And
Yeah.
I was reading some reviews of the movie, and a lot of people are really focusing on the technology aspect of the movie, which I
Yeah.
think is sort of a disservice because that's even though it's marketing. If you look at the trailer, what we saw of the trailer, it's very focused on technology aspect and like the boomer technology bad, phone bad, a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff. But I didn't think the movie actually did that as much. There was one character that was that phone bad, but
Oh
the other
yeah.
characters were like making fun of her for being that way. So I felt more of like it was more a slice of life when technology is a part of your life, as it is in real life at right now.
Yeah.
So it would have been, yeah, it was kind of focused in the beginning, but I think they left it kind of, yeah, it wasn't the point of the movie. Phone bad wasn't the point of the movie.
No, phone bad isn't the specific point of the movie, but I think in a certain way, technology bad is the point of the movie.
Really, I did not get that.
Okay,
Uh,
because um, not
Except
all.
for that one specific character and that one specific family.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a problem for all the characters. Like Ansel Elgort's character, his interactions like online and with technology are pretty like regular and
Yeah.
not very addictive. He plays some MMO Guild Wars.
Guild Wars, yeah.
Yeah. And he plays that to have connection to people outside of his hometown because he doesn't have any friends. So that's nothing like problematic about that. But and the same thing with what's her name, DeWitt? Not Rosemary DeWitt. What is her name? That's the mother, Caitlin Dever, who plays the girl who becomes his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
She also has found like an outlet, which is I guess a healthy outlet in Tumblr. But all the other characters have somehow become not disadvantaged. What do you say? Like addicted in a bad way to technology. Even the mother who thinks that the mother who's played by Jennifer Garner, who thinks that technology bad, phone bad, so she like
uses all the technology in the world.
yeah, exactly. Caitlin Dever's character's mother. She spies on all her text messages. She has all her passwords for Facebook and whatever. And she even like has a GPS tracker on, so she can see where her daughter is all the time. Like, yeah, technology bad, and it's consumed your life, you idiot.
Yeah, I was more. I was feeling more that the movie was about this miscommunications and not being able to relate to your children or your parents to other people generally, and that technology was a way that people used it, and some used it bad, some used it good, and I think that movie showed that both aspects of this person uses it for an outlet, and this one uses it as an addiction, as a control. So since they showed both sides, I didn't think it wasn't the focus of the movie. It was more of people living in a technology world, not technology taking over people's life. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, well, I think if it did showed both sides, but I think it skewed more towards it being bad because more people were having negative effects of it. Like what's her name from Arrested Development? What is her name? Judy Greer, who
Oh right.
the dance mom basically.
Yeah. But yeah, in that case, I don't think that was technology bad. That
No,
I
it's
think
not
that
mainly
was
technology there.
no in that story the one more it was a facilitator, but she would have used it in if technology wasn't there, she would have found another way to ruin her daughter's career.
Yeah, she was living vicariously through her daughter, which is the whole dance mom thing. Going so far as to sell not naked pictures but lewd pictures of her daughter to people. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, so I guess not technology, but technology is such a focus of the movie that I got the feeling that you want to say technology bad.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think anyone is wrong for getting that interpretation.
No.
But I didn't.
Okay.
It was after I read about, because I saw the trailer, then it feels very technology bad, very boomerish technology bad.
Yeah, this is.
But then
lots of boomer energy in this movie.
Yeah, but then I saw the movie and I was I didn't that was a misconception from my part, and then I read reviews. Oh, okay, everybody else thought that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I was proven wrong. Nobody else was, apparently.
Yeah. Just the scene between Ansel Elgort and his dad, played by Dean Norris from Breaking Bad, when he says like, "Oh, I deleted the game off your computer," and I emailed my bank account so they can't. No, first says, "Yeah, I deleted the game. So I'll just download it again." And then I said, "Oh no, I emailed my bank account so they'll stop paying. I'll stop paying for it." And that just annoyed me because that's a nitpick. But Guild Wars, Guild Wars 2, is free to play, so that annoyed me so much.
Was it always free to play?
It was always free to play.
Okay. Because I have no idea. I never played Guild Wars ever.
No, but that's just it's supposed to be that he's he's playing an MMO, and usually they cost money.
But at least they used an actual MMO name.
Yes,
for the game.
They used the actual game, a real game. Couldn't they just look up then at, it's free to play, maybe we should pick another one? I don't know. But that's an extreme nitpick. It was just, I just noticed it, and I know other people have noticed that too, like, actually.
Well, actually. So this movie is really hard to, like, describe what it's about, because it's so many plot lines and so many characters, and it's just a slice of life in, like, 3 or 4 families' life. And the only connection between the families are that the children go to the same school, I think. And because of that, the families know each other, sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had a lot of plot lines. This was extreme amount of plot lines.
Yeah.
And by, like, the middle of the movie, they dropped half of them. With no resolution and nothing happened.
Sure, yeah. Well,
yeah, I mean, because
the only one that I feel that it really dropped is the one about the girl getting pregnant.
That one they just dropped that one.
Yeah,
she was anorexic, and that was a big thing. And then she got pregnant, and then whoop, that's that plot line apparently.
Yeah, she had a miscarriage, and the guy who got her pregnant didn't answer her, and she went to his house and threw a rock at the window. Yeah, but there was no resolution. Alright.
And then there was Adam Sandler's kid, who's like sort of addicted to porn and has a skewed sense of sex because of porn, which I agree that could be a problem.
That could be a problem. But
as they put it in the movie, he started watching porn at the age of 10, like seriously. Yeah. So yeah, but they just dropped that. He's about to have sex with like the popular girl in school. Yeah. Because he's a popular guy, I guess.
Yeah, he's the captain of the football team.
All right. And then he can't get it up, and that's that plot line.
Yeah.
And they just didn't mention it again. Okay.
That also just oozed of boomer energy, like, porn bad, porn ruined your life. Like, I'm sure it could in like extreme cases, but I mean, I don't know. Speaking from experience. It's not that bad.
No, I mean, yeah, it is bad. There have been a lot of cases. Well, not cases, but there are a lot of examples that it is bad for the generation growing up with the internet and have because we didn't grow up with the internet.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So we don't really.
Before I saw any internet stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. So it is a problem.
Okay.
It's not everyone, of course, but there are people that have these problems, and so I didn't mind. Because it would have been an under thing if they were like, it's an epidemic and everyone has it. No, it's just this specific person has this issue. So.
But that is. For me, that is kind of indicative of all the plot lines and all the characters that they kind of feel like a surrogate for all teens. Like they try to represent all teens. Like all teens struggle with body issues. All teens have suicidal tendencies. All teens watch too much porn. I got that feeling from the way they portrayed it in the movie, that these teens represent all teenagers in America or whatever. So that was part of the whole like technology bad thing. Like this is what's gonna happen. Look at these people.
I didn't get that at all. I
Okay.
didn't from watching the movie. But yeah, and another plot line that just sort of dropped. Well, not really, but I felt that they dropped it. It was this with Ansel's story. What is it called? Tim Mooney.
Yeah.
Yeah. The like plot line of his mother leaving them and getting remarried.
Yeah.
They just mention it like a few times, and all right then, I guess it's not really a plot line, but it's just why.
Yeah, that felt a little tacked on. Like that wasn't really necessary because they don't really use that. He just watches it on Facebook a couple times, and I think he mentions it once. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean that's what I mean. A lot of plot lines and plot threads that just they're just dropped.
Yeah.
So I think the first half of the movie for me was very chaotic, and I didn't really get it what's happening because there were a lot of characters, a lot of plot lines, and it didn't really felt like we had this one main plot line.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually in these movies. It's the same thing in like Magnolia. It's kind of chaotic in the beginning.
And also I don't think the movie sets out to try and like fix any problems. It just shines a light at the problems because in reality you can't fix everything. So that makes sense as well. But sometimes in movies you need some resolutions at least something. Yeah. And we do get. I think we get one between Adam Sandler and Rosemary DeWitt, who are both like they've lost the flame in their marriage.
I think we have a lot of resolutions. Cause the first half of the movie, first act, chaotic, didn't get it. Second act, I was kind of bored, didn't really care about what's happening and people around.
Yeah.
And then the third act, it really picked up for me. I like the third act. So because we have this, I think it was a nice resolution with the mother who did the surveillance on her daughter. She realizes the impact what she's doing at the end. Dean Norris character, Kent Mooney, he realizes that maybe football isn't that important. Yeah. Maybe his kid should be doing what he wants. Maybe there's some other issues that need to be worked on.
It's kind of the same like the dance mom. He's living vicariously through his son.
Exactly.
Pushing him to do things he doesn't want to. Yeah.
And then we have Adam Sandler's. That plotline also has. I think it's a nice resolution for that one.
That one felt most. I don't know if it was not realistic, but it felt most. The most
genuine.
Genuine, yeah. And
yeah.
I think they fixed their problem in a kind of, I guess, mature way. The best way you could fix that problem.
But what I liked was that all these three big plot lines, and then I guess the plot line with Ansel, but it's woven into the other plot lines. Yeah. All those plot lines, they are resolved, but they are resolved with like a question mark at the end. It's open that they realize things, they realize the problem they made, but we don't see how they're gonna change it.
Yeah, it's not all like perfect and what is it's not resolved. They just know that there's a problem at least.
So for example, this Adam Sandler plotline, because that plotline is revolving around Adam Sandler and his wife, who's been married for many years and have kids and all that, and they're like their relationship and their life is kind of in a stalemate. They can't go forward, and not stalemate, stagnate.
Yeah, it's stagnating. Yeah, it's in arrested development.
And then they both start having affairs, without the other one knowing. So she's going on Ashley Madison, which is kind of fun.
I think this was before the big scandal.
Yeah, exactly. Now that shit show is just gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's there and meeting other married people and having affairs with them.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler goes and hires escorts or
Yeah.
prostitutes. And then at the end they like he shows her that he knows that what she's doing, and she wants to
Yeah.
talk about it,
Well,
and he says,
Yeah,
"Huh?
they see each other in the bar because they're both there to meet their other
No,
person.
he goes there because he finds her account on the computer. He knows she's gonna be there.
Right.
So he figures it out and goes there and not doesn't approach, just give her a look that I know.
Yeah,
and then
but yeah,
she wants,
sees him.
yeah, and then when she gets home, she wants to talk about it and get it all out, and he says, "No, we both made mistakes. Do you really want to talk about it, or should we just get on with our living?" And I think that's an interesting, because either it shows that they're going with the they just pretend it didn't happen approach,
Yeah.
or they could keep doing it, but they just don't ask, don't tell policy from now on in the relationship.
Yeah. I got.
It can go several different ways, and we don't know which way it goes.
Yeah, that's true. We don't actually know, but I got the feeling from some of the interactions they have before they both find out, that they are you have the breakfast scene is one of them, where they kind of seem to be getting closer to each other. So it's them having extramarital affairs is kind of helping their relationship, which is what you've heard from people in the same situation in real life. It is up to interpretation in the end if they keep their affairs going on, or if they just try to not work it out, but start from the beginning basically.
Yeah. So I like these resolutions where it's open, where life goes on.
Yeah.
We haven't solved an issue, but we are now in a more healthy place than we were at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah. Another drop plot line was the one with the website. I think it felt like drop plot line.
Yeah. Well, they got. She didn't get into the what's it called, the reality show, because they found the website. So she took it down, but it was too late.
So this is the plot line with the mother living through her daughter, and she has a website where as you said, she sells lewd pictures.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be. I love how they described it in the beginning. Because we see them taking photos pretty early in the movie, and we see the website. Like, it's supposed to be like headshots and like her talent page, but it's all just her in, skimpy outfits.
Yeah.
And she's in, she's like 16, and it's like,
like
Mom! And the mom is taking the pictures. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But then she realizes that this is, because, it comes ahead when the daughter is, she's about to get this part, the one that they've been working for, and that the mother has, like, more or less pushed her to do and what she's living for.
Yeah.
But they find a website and say, we can't hire someone who does these kind of things.
This is weird. Thank you, ma'am, and hangs up.
Yeah. So the mother realizes that she has ruined the chances for her daughter, and that this, she gets the realization that this is so bad. So she shuts down the website, and the daughter is devastated because she, in her mind, thinks that she's famous because of this website.
Yeah, exactly. But she doesn't. I don't know if she knows about the mom selling pictures, right?
No, she doesn't know about selling. Only that she gets the views on the website, and that's and she feels famous for that. So, but then the mother says, but it's done. We're not gonna do this anymore. And then the daughter storms off, and then we never see them again in the movie.
Yeah.
It's not really like resolved. It's not satisfying, at least.
No. Yeah. Exactly. It's not ended in a satisfying way.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem. Yeah, it's boring in the middle, and a lot of things ends with no satisfaction. Yeah, abruptly. But I didn't mind the movie.
No, discussing the stuff like this, I some of the plot lines I do enjoy, especially the one with Adam Sandler, surprisingly.
Adam Sandler, again, he can act if he wants to.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but
sure, he was playing a very low energy and very yeah, I don't know what to call it.
Uh,
Grounded character, I guess.
yeah. I was gonna say lethargic, but that's mean.
Yeah, lethargic. Yeah, I think that's a better description. So I mean, it's not. It doesn't really show his acting chops like
No.
he did in earlier, better movies we've seen with him.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind him. He was
No, yeah, it's pretty good. But that is so. Yeah, I do enjoy some of the writing, even if I think the overall writing is very very boomerish, and that annoys me. But I think like a big problem that kind of ruins what goodwill you have from the good parts of the movie is like the direction, because everything is so. It's not slow, and the movie isn't that long, but it is like the pacing. I don't know if it's the pacing or just the pacing overall or pacing in certain scenes. It's just so like low energy somehow. Everything is just the lighting is always dim. Everyone's just sitting around talking, and since they're all like it's supposed to be this, everyone's living through their phones. Everyone's kind of detached from their feelings, except for the teenagers who are all feelings. Oh, woe is me. So it's a very like monotone, like brown feeling throughout the movie, and I couldn't stand that. It was just I don't know what it was invasive. Like it was like, ugh, get it away from me, basically.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire movie, it was very very uncomfortable, and I think that's what they want.
Yeah,
I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah, but I've seen movies that are supposed to be uncomfortable that I enjoy. I didn't enjoy this. It was I don't know, and I think Jennifer Garner, who plays the technology's bad mom, she was a little too much. She felt like a caricature of one. Like people like that exists, but it was so extreme.
Yeah, definitely. She was. I mean, I saw her as like a comedic presence in the movie because nothing she says like made sense.
No.
It was very much like this.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm just going to a friend. Well, I have your phone so I can track you all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very. There's. I don't know the specific quotes or like, but in like the late 80s when technology started advancing rapidly, there was always and I guess at early 90s then the talk about the internet and like, oh, the internet is demonic. It's all it's connecting your kids directly to pedophiles and there nothing good can come of this. She felt like a character written in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, what was she said about Guild Wars? She said like he's playing an avatar in the internet.
Yeah.
And avatars always look demonic and it went on a rant about it.
Yeah, that scene was pretty funny.
Yeah, and every other character in the movie was like, okay,
yeah. She has like a meeting for all the parents, and of course all the parents that are in the movie come there, and at first they're like, yeah, like technology is bad. We should monitor our children. But then she starts going a little too far, and they're like, calm down, lady.
But yeah, pacing was off, specifically in the second act. That's why I found it boring, because there was a lot of these, like, there were these scenes with no music and no dialogue and nothing really happening.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the scene specifically with the anorexic girl when she the sex scene or whatever.
Oh yeah. When
she gets to her house and it's just jucky and really weirdly paced and mellow, and you just feel uncomfortable. It feels like you're watching something you shouldn't watch. So yeah, I agree with that. I think that's one of the biggest technical issues with the movies. Two other things that I really was annoyed about. I didn't mind to have a narrator, but I thought dropped it in the middle of the movie.
But it's there in the end, right?
Yeah, because they have it quite a lot in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's no narration until the end scene. Quite a lot and it felt really weird. Like, no, there was one point in between the beginning and the end that they had one narration in between. So it felt like they didn't have it consistently through the movie or not at all.
Yeah.
Not just at some points, because that feels like lazy writing. Like, how are we gonna explain these feelings or these plots? Well, put in a narration at these specific points.
And I wonder if, because it feels, for me, it feels extra lazy when you do it in a movie based on a book, because a book usually has not like specific narration, but it is narrated. Like you don't only have dialogue in a book. No. You have descriptions, and when
you have thoughts and
exactly.
Things like that.
So when you try to like transform that into moving pictures, like using voiceover feels very lazy, I think.
Yeah, voiceover is great if it's like a part of the movie. It's not used for only this exposition. It's part of the. I don't know how to explain it.
It's if it's there to enhance the narrative,
exactly.
not just be used because they can't figure out another way to say it.
Exactly, and that's what I think was the issue in here.
Yeah. Specifically,
also because Emma Thompson is one of my favorite narrators.
Oh yeah, she's great. I love.
She's
Emma
a
Thompson.
great narrator.
Yeah.
So that's it felt like a waste. So that's one big technical issue that I was annoyed about.
Yeah.
Another one was I really liked. I think you didn't, but I really liked the thing when you see the crowds and you see people's screens, and you see how people write, and when you see people just walking and you see all the people's screens and you see everyone is on the screen.
I didn't dislike it.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to like present phone interactions on screen, and I guess it's the way they do it is not great, but I haven't really seen it done better in other movies.
No,
so there's not really a good way to do it. I think this is the best way.
Yeah, I think it was a great way, and I really like specifically when we're in crowds in school or in the mall, when you see all the extras, everyone is on their phone, and you see these small, you can't read what they say, but you see, like, this one's looking at a picture, this one's texting, and
everyone's
I like
on their phone.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that aesthetic a lot, but I think they used it a lot again. They just as narration used a lot in the beginning, and then they just sort of dropped it, and then it didn't happen again. It wasn't a consistent like style throughout the movie, which just at some points. So I think both narration and that effect should have used either removed from the movie entirely or use it a lot more, use it consistently throughout the movie.
Yeah. And,
so that's the two biggest issues I had with the technical aspect of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also got while I like Emma Thompson, and using her for the narration was great, I thought the writing for the narration was very it came off as very pretentious. Like she is it was very like usually you use the voiceover to like convey a feeling, or like get the audience to understand, but here it was just like it was so like detached. It was like she was talking so lackadaisical, if that's the right use of the word, and it kind of mirrored Ansel Elgort's view of the world, like nothing matters. It was so angsty, and I know teenagers are very angsty, and like all their problems are the worst problems ever in the history of mankind. And as you grow up, you realize that I was kind of a douche when I was a teenager. So, and I've mentioned this in videos and maybe even live streams before, that before I could connect with that and like understand, but as I grow older, I'm like, God damn teenagers, damn kids, grow up. So I couldn't really. I was so annoyed at that.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know, but that's just me. That's not a problem with the movie. It's me getting grumpy and old.
Angry old man.
Yeah, like, just pick yourself up, stupid kid. Stop being a teenager.
Where?
Wait.
uh, yeah. So, but yeah, again, I didn't mind that at all.
Yeah.
But what was the biggest issue for you in the movie? Was it the pacing, or was it the phone bad?
I think it was the whole, no, not phone bad, but like that there was no character that felt, I don't know, for lack of a better term, like normal. There wasn't the straight person in all this, like someone who, sure, like, I mean, everyone has problems, everyone has issues, but here it felt like everyone was like dealing with something super serious. And it felt like we needed a baseline, like someone who, like, oh yeah, I get it, you know, sort of like I don't know if it's a weird analogy, but like in Seinfeld never really, he's the middle, he's the baseline, and all the other characters are either like maniacal or they're tragical. And here you had no baseline, so like, okay, so everyone, what, same thing with like they're supposed to represent. It felt like the characters were supposed to represent. The teenage character was supposed to represent teenagers, all teenagers, and the grown-ups were supposed to represent all grown-ups. But then you only had like, not problematic characters with problems. There weren't anyone who was just, whatever. You needed something. You needed a baseline, and it wasn't there. It just felt like, oh, everyone is so sad. Everyone is so confused. Everyone is so messed up. And it's like, but not everyone is. It was a little annoying.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone. I don't think we need a baseline in a slice of life movie. That's not it. And also this, I didn't feel at all that it was a representation of all teenagers, or all adults. It was just these teenagers and these adults. It's the same thing of asking why does the hero always succeed? No. He's the hero because he succeeds. It's not that the character succeeds. It's the succession that's
what makes
success.
a hero.
Yeah, that's why we see a movie about this person, because he succeeded.
Yeah.
We see a movie about people who have problems, then the people in the movie have problems. I mean, 'cause that's what the movie is about. Why would you make a movie about people who have problem if you only show people who hasn't problems?
No, but I mean, because for like the half of the movie, I thought that character was Caitlin Dever. Because she had problems in her life, mainly her mother, but she didn't herself have any, she didn't have any personal problems. Like, she was a well-adjusted person, if maybe a little, she was a teenager, so she was a little angsty. But I don't know. I guess she was kind of the baseline. But then she had her. It wasn't a bad thing, but once again, it felt like the movie was kind of trying to make it not a bad thing, but I don't know. Like, she had her secret, which was her Tumblr account.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so she also she could be herself there. Like, what? It was that like, why couldn't she? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, me neither.
No, but I thought she was the only one who wasn't actually hiding who she really was. She really was that person, but then it turned out she wasn't. And like, she was a baseline, but then no, she also couldn't really be herself. Like, But I guess that was mostly because of her mother. Like, she had to hide things.
I think it was more that, not that she wasn't herself. I think it was more of she doesn't have an outlet for any sort of expression, because she says that also, that I'm not always myself. I could be anyone. It depends on the day when I feel like, and that's that's a feeling that I think we all had as a teenager, that you need to express yourself to find who you are.
Yeah, there's that teenager
And
thing, and
so,
that's probably part of why I didn't get it. Yeah.
so I mean that's fair. I mean, it's not that she was hiding who she was. It was more like trying out different way of being. And I think Ansel also, yeah, he was definitely not well adjusted, but he
No.
was also sort of a baseline because he was this. He realized that he doesn't want to do what everyone else expects him to do, and he tries to do what makes him happy. And then because of that, he gets this existential angst that I think also a lot of teenagers have.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think a lot of grown-ups too. To be fair,
Yeah,
have
I
this
suppose.
existential. What does it mean? Why should I be here?
Yeah, but it was
teenagers are those people who just let that be an identity. Grown-ups just have that thought, and then they move on with their life.
Yeah, because you can't go around constantly thinking of that.
No,
it's not productive.
No, because then you become like he is in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's that speech he had when he talked to the counselor or whatever it was at school.
Yeah.
Like, I think of the whole pale blue dot speech. Like, nothing matters. Like, oh, shut the fuck up. Grow up, kid.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, Dean Norris was kind of a baseline in this movie too. He wasn't that bad.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, and he was like a voice of reason, especially when the dance mom mentions that she saw pictures of her daughter. He's like, I think we need to calm down here. Yeah.
Hey now.
But then there was, he was such a boomer though. Like, I uninstalled the game. It was just, it annoyed me. It's a nitpick.
Why did that annoy you?
Because it's such a dad thing to do. Like,
yeah, he's a dad.
Video game bad. You can't play anymore.
But he's a dad.
I know.
That's his character.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think you have any issues with this movie specific. I think all the issues are with you.
I guess, except for the pacing and the dim lighting.
Yeah. That's fair.
Even like daytime scenes felt like mood lighting.
Yeah, it was like the feeling you get in Donnie Darko, except it didn't brought anything to the table.
No, yeah.
Because Donnie Darko is like also have this feeling of really down, really earthy tones and really dim lighting.
Yeah.
But that's also because that's sort of a mystery movie and a.
It's maybe it's a dream, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
It's literally Twilight. As in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. So that movie, like, it uses that. In this one, it doesn't really use it in any way. No. It's just there because...
It was just brown.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, but I think most actors did a good job.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything, like...
No one was bad.
No.
It was just, like, their characters were kind of zombies, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I overall I didn't read any of the reviews. I just looked at the score and saw, it got a 38 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
38. So I don't know what other people thought of it.
Yeah. A lot of people, the few I didn't read a lot of reviews, but the ones I read, like Roger Ebert did a review of this, for example. I read that one. They really focus on the technology bad aspect, and that the most reviewers think that this movie set out to be about showing the dangers of technology, just as you did, and then they feel like the movie didn't show it properly. They didn't tell that. They didn't explain properly why it was bad. It just was bad.
And that is part of the problem. Like, it doesn't feel it's a movie made in, like I said, Jennifer Garner's character felt like she was written in the 80s, but this movie came out in 2014. Like, sure, there are still, we know there are bad parts of the internet and bad parts of being addicted to technology, but this movie felt like it was screaming at the sky basically, like, we need to stop. No, I really got that feeling, and because everyone was addicted to technology and everyone had problems in their life that they didn't confront. Instead, they just pivoted and kept looking at their screens, basically. And
Here,
it felt so. I don't know. Pitchfork.
Here's a paragraph from Roger Ebert's review. I think it is. No, wait. No, it isn't. It's from RogerEbert.com, but it's not from him. Okay. Anyway.
No, yeah, he has a bunch. Now he's dead, but towards the end, he had a bunch of people reviewing. It was just his webpage.
But yeah, anyway, so a potentially interesting premise is handled so badly that what might have been a provocative drama quickly, irrevocably devolved into the technological equivalent of the old anti-dope chestnut Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
Squandering the efforts of a strong and talented cast, struggling mightily to make something of this ridiculously trite material.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good point. That while we did get some resolutions when it came to the personal problems of the characters, like the technology aspect of the story never really got a resolution. Like in the end, technology was still bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, well, technology can be good. It was just bad.
And I think that's the big difference between me and everyone else apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was about technology. I think just this movie could have been set anywhere in time with basically the same plot, because anorexia have always been around.
Oh yeah, all the problems have always been around.
Affairs have always been around. Yeah. All these things. It's just that technology facilitates it. It's not that technology created these issues. It was just technology facilitates those issues. And in sometimes it makes it easier to fall into the traps that was harder to fall in before. And I think that's fair. I didn't think it was a Reefer Madness movie. So I guess that's why I didn't mind as much as most people do.
Yeah, I read a quote that was a couple. First one that was just kind of funny. The first Reitman film to make the 36-year-old director seem about 400 years old. Yeah. Like, oh no, damn kids. And then here from New York Times, veering between alarmism and cautious reassurance, between techno-hysteria and shrugging, nothing new under the sun resignation, men, women, and children succumbs to the confusion it tries to illuminate. Yeah, because there's no resolution. There's no like accepting technology or like finding the middle ground. It's just bad.
No.
Yeah. But anyway.
No. So I guess over to the shorts. Well, short. We don't really need that one.
We didn't know. I don't think there's any regular character in this one.
No, there was none.
There's none, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the score.
The score, yes. Unfortunately, the scoreboard is not available at this moment.
Okay.
But I'll still
have some technical issues with the scoreboard.
The scoreboard as usual. Not as usual, but if something fucks up, it's usually the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure to write it down. But yeah. Out of 100, what will you give this movie?
I will give this like a 51.
Okay.
it's just above average. Just smidge above average.
Yeah. Okay. And I gotta say, like, having conversation about the movie, I did like, get it more. But that only like elevates it to slightly below average for me, I think. Because I really didn't like it. Yeah.
It's usually in this. I usually before we start, I usually have a score in mind, and then that score is thrown out the window somewhere in the middle of our discussion.
Yeah.
Usually it goes the other way. It gets lower the more I talk about it. But
but I mean, because I was probably gonna score it somewhere pretty close to what the meta score was, like 38 of 100. Somewhere in the high 30s. But yeah, talking about it, I'll give it a 44. I'll give it a 44.
Okay.
Not a 45, but a 44.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, it was still, I did not enjoy it at all, and for personal reasons, which you can't be totally objective. For personal reasons, I just didn't like this movie at all.
No, of course.
Those damn kids and the damn boomers.
Yeah. I probably won't put this movie on anytime again. But if someone wants to see it, I'll be fine watching with them.
Yeah.
It's not like most other Adam Sandler movies where I was scream no.
No, don't, please.
This one is fine, sure. If you're interested. This
feels like the kind of movie, like, talking about me giving it a 44, which is like basically like it's okay. It's fine. But if I'm like, and that's because we've had almost an hour discussion about it now. But if someone would just ask me, I don't. Some movies for me are like this. Like, sometimes I'll elaborate. Like, they just wanted me to tell them, is it good or is it bad? And I'll elaborate way too much. But this is one of those movies where I say, nah, it fucking sucks. Don't watch it. Even though that is not my score doesn't really reflect that. But if someone would ask me, I say, no, don't watch it.
Yeah,
it's fine, but don't watch it.
Yeah, and I'd say, if you like slice of life movies and a lot of plot lines and a lot of characters, sure, why not?
Yeah, it's sad though, because there's so many like actors in it that I really like.
And
there's a lot. I hope they would be better.
And most of the plot lines have a good potential. Like, every one of them.
Interesting, yeah.
I think every one of these plot lines could have been a great movie for its own movie.
That might be a problem too. That they needed to explore this more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, cut out like half of the plot lines and only focus on the two families. At the end.
Or, I can't believe I'm saying this. Do you think it could have been a better TV show? Like, do you have 10 hours instead of an hour and a half?
I mean, probably.
As a limited series, so not that it goes on for 7 years, but 10 episodes.
Yeah, maybe if we did like one plot line in every episode, and then the more you see the network of the world builds on, and you see that all the plot lines are
connected somehow.
And you can play with the timeline that all the plot lines it's all on the same day, for example, sort of. And every episode is you follow one person. Yeah, it could work. It could work.
Yeah, it's a sad day.
There's a lot of things that could work.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah. So, back to the list.
Yes.
Now that we've seen the last movie that could have been good, until Uncut Gems.
Yeah, until Uncut Gems. Yeah. I'm just gonna ask quickly: is Uncut Gems even on the list we made, or we just?
It is on the list.
On the list.
It is on the list. Yeah.
But what comes next?
So, let's see here. So, the year 2014, Adam Sandler made 3 movies. He made Cobbler, Blended, and Men, Women, and Children.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he was so tired in this movie. Year after that, 2015, he made 2 movies. I think one Netflix movie and one not Netflix movie.
Yeah.
He made Ridiculous 6.
Which is a Netflix movie.
And Pixels, which was, I remember, uniformly hated by everyone who watched it. A lot of people wanted to watch it. A lot of people had high hopes. Everyone hated it. And
it's also, I guess we might discuss that further in the actual Pixel episode, but other than Uncut Gems, it's his last theatrical movie.
All right.
Oh. Yeah. All the other movies are just Netflix movies.
So next week we're gonna watch Ridiculous 6, which you had seen.
I watched the first 10 minutes, I think, just to see if it was as bad as people thought, and then I turned it off because it was as bad as people said.
Yeah. One of those. This is a Netflix movie that not a lot of people have seen, but it got really bad reviews.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody liked this one either. But apparently it made a lot of a lot of money. So
Yeah,
since
because
he's making 12 Netflix movies apparently.
yeah, well, that's the problem. We'll talk more about that in the actual episode. But I just gotta mention,
Yeah.
like, since Netflix never reveals their actual numbers, they just reveal how many subscribers they have. Like, yeah, they have 100 million subscribers, which means 100 million people technically watched Ridiculous Six.
Yeah.
So that movie technically made like $1 billion based on all the subscription fees. But it could have been like 3 people that actually watched it, but they still made money off of it. That's the problem with
you
Netflix.
you could if you really want to do the math, you should take like how many people there are and then draw a line and an average on every all content on Netflix.
Oh, sure.
I mean, if you're gonna be technical about it, but yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they're making trillions of dollars every minute. So yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know. Netflix isn't open with how many people saw it, but apparently it must have been a lot. Because again, he's gonna make 12 movies for Netflix, which is insane. But yeah, so next week, Ridiculous Six.
Yes. So if you wanna be part of the discussion, watch Ridiculous Six.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Anyway, thank you for watching. And if you're watching this in the archives, you can watch all the other episodes right down there. There's a playlist, I know. And be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to torture yourself some more with more Adam Sandler podcasts. Or the other stuff, live streams in general, reviews and video essays and trailer actions and stuff like that. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and until the next time, have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.